Hey everybody, Madison here with Health by Ratio, and in this video, we are going to talk about some things on the nutrition and supplementation side to help us mitigate inflammation around us enjoying life a little bit. Obviously, we all need to be able to take vacations, enjoy holidays, let our hair down a little bit. Well, how do we mitigate the effects on our bodies so that we can continue to repair and heal? All covered in this video. Health by Ratio is an online group of licensed physical therapists, functional movement, and corrective exercise specialists that work together with our clients to help them bridge the gap from recurring and chronic pains and injuries and move them toward the active lives that they love to live. All right, so I'm going to be talking about a few different things that we can be implementing in and around our festivities, holidays, vacations to mitigate this inflammation on the body. And so we're going to chat about some nutritional recommendations, supplement recommendations, as well as protocols that we can do after the holiday to let us reset as fast as possible. And even though my team and I specialize on the physical side of health, where we're trying to help people rehabilitate from recurring injuries and chronic pains and all that kind of stuff through corrective exercise and movement and functional fitness and really bridge that gap to activity, we also need to take a look on the holistic side of things at nutrition, because that is what gives this body the nutrients it needs to actually rebuild and heal. And all of us at some point or another got to let our hair down a little bit and enjoy the actual some holidays where we're not going to eat as normal as we do. We might be having some more desserts or a few more inflammatory foods, or maybe some alcoholic beverages, and that creates a systemic inflammation response where the whole body inflames a little bit because it's dealing with some stuff that it's not used to. It's understandable. But whenever we get systemic inflammation, it's always the weak links in the chain, the areas that we tend to have chronic pain, stiffness, injuries, whatever, that end up getting impacted the most. So that inflammation really affects those weak links in the chain. So that's why this is such an important topic, and why my team and I take a holistic approach when it comes to true holistic health. So let's jump into first some supplement recommendations around enjoying some nutritional, like some foods that aren't as good and healthy as we tend to eat, and also maybe some beverages that maybe aren't as quite as good as we normally eat. So on the nutritional side of things, around our actual, like during the day of the festivities or on the days of our vacations, that kind of stuff, I highly recommend, one, prioritizing some detoxification supplements. I'm more of a fan of the natural things myself. So what I use to detox are things like spirulina and chlorella. Those are great natural seaweed-based supplements that are phenomenal for detoxifying the body. Also, resveratrol, which is a great detoxer, but also immune booster, which is important when our immune system, which resides in our gut, when our gut is getting impacted a little bit from our foods and what we eat. That's probably a good thing for us to be improving a little bit, is giving our immune system a little bit of an extra boost. Another thing that I like to take is milk thistle, because milk thistle helps cleanse the liver in particular. So those things are kind of go-tos in and around the day itself. Now, at the end of the day, away from what I've ate and drank, especially away from my supplements, I'm also a big fan of activated charcoal, which is kind of a catch-all, absorbs whatever is in your system, which helps detox as well. It absorbs everything. So you don't want to take activated charcoal around like your food, unless it's crappy food that you want to like absorb itself. You just had some cake, all right, activated charcoal can be a good thing, kind of thing. Or like you're taking it with, like, after you've drank alcohol, that kind of thing, to help absorb some of those toxins. So that is all really important. Now, also on the detoxification side, which is really important no matter what, is hydration, getting in water. And this is a no-brainer. If you guys aren't already in the habit of this, especially when you're drinking alcoholic beverages, maybe a little bit more than normal, you got to drink a glass of water with every beverage that you have. That's just a go-to. Try. So many people will like maybe not drink water all day long, and then at the end they chug a bunch of water. That's not the same as drinking. Like, you have your glass of wine, then drink a glass of water. Then, or you have your beer, drink a glass of water. That hydration throughout the evening, throughout the day, whatever, goes a very long way in flushing out those toxins and reducing any potential of a hangover the next day, because hangovers are primarily caused from dehydration. So that's a no-brainer. Got to do it. So I want to make sure to point that out. Also, some other supplements that I think can go a really long way are we're often going to be consuming foods, whether it's literally sweet dessert kind of things that spike our blood sugar, alcoholic beverages that break down into sugar and raise the blood sugar levels, or it is just having like more carbohydrates as we're enjoying some more rich foods than we normally would have. When we're going to be having more of a blood sugar raise, we can also take some supplements that mitigate that. So one of my favorites is berberine. I don't use berberine all the time because long-term use of it can also be like too much of a good thing, can end up doing some harm to the body. But berberine here and there, especially around some festivities, is a great thing to do to control blood sugar. Also, a go-to is ginger and or cinnamon, which you can get in supplement form, that are phenomenal. They're both digestive aids and lower the blood sugar levels of what you're consuming. So those are also no-brainers to be consuming to help mitigate that inflammation, which occurs when we have these chronic big blood sugar spikes. So that's another great one that we can be implementing. And then another go-to, I love having a high quality probiotic, especially around travel or around eating something or drinking things around a holiday or whatever that you wouldn't normally eat, because that food that we're eating that's abnormal is going to mess with our microbiome. So it's going to mess with our gut bacteria, especially if we're not eating such healthy stuff. So that's, to me, when a probiotic, and potentially a good prebiotic with it, so it even sits better with the body, but that's when a great probiotic, which is going to give your body a bunch of healthy bacteria, can help restore that equilibrium and mitigate a lot of the issue, everything from like constipation, energy level issues, immune system, because it resides in your gut, all that kind of stuff. It helps mitigate the impacts to the microbiome. I'm not necessarily someone that would recommend for everybody taking a probiotic every single day, but especially around days or where we're eating and drinking a little bit differently, that this is a great tool to use at that time. So a good quality probiotic is a go-to. Now, last but not least, this is something that I recommend all the time, especially with people trying to repair injuries, is taking a really good quality essential amino acid complex. So like having an essential amino acid supplement, which is different than branched chain amino acids, by the way. Branched chain amino acids have just a few amino acids broken down into it. We used to think that those were, those amino acids are the ones that rebuild tissue. So we used to think if we just take those branched chain amino acids, that's what we need to prioritize because that's going to help with tissue growth. Well, the essential amino acids include those branched chain aminos and then some. And what we found now through studies that have really just been kind of published over the last few years is that branched chain amino acids, because they aren't being absorbed with the other amino acid complexes, the body doesn't use them very well. It needs the other amino acids for the body to actually absorb and rebuild. And what'll happen if we cherry pick and only take in the branched chain aminos, the BCAAs, then our body will actually consume some of our own protein and break that down, because protein breaks down into amino acids, breaks down our own muscle tissue protein and gets those other aminos that we're missing from the branched chain aminos, and so to basically repair. So we basically end up taking branched chain aminos, but our body ends up consuming our own tissue to replenish what was missing, and then it's rebuilding itself from what was already consumed. So it ends up having a null effect on the body. It doesn't improve. So the studies have shown that taking an essential amino acid, which has the branched chain aminos that rebuild tissue, plus all the other amino acids that are great for our body that we would get from having a normal source, a good quality source of protein, is what our bodies actually absorb and can use to rebuild our tissue. So when we have damaged tissue, we have some kind of injury that we're trying to repair and heal from, we want those amino acids. and we want them clean. So you can get like, if you guys are concerned on the vegetarian or vegan side, most branched chain amino acids are actually, maybe all, are vegan. So you can take them. They're from a vegan source, and they have all of the aminos that you need. So it's another really clean quality source of protein, but it's even faster for your body to absorb and utilize, because they're already broken down into aminos versus having protein, which your body then needs to break down into amino acids. So that's a go-to supplement for at any time to me, especially around any activities that you're doing throughout your day. As you're being active and you want to replenish your body's nutrients to help repair any tissue that was overused, kind of thing. But around our festivities and stuff like that, this is a great thing to help us with improving our energy levels, our immune system, and continuing our tissue repair, and healing the body the way we want to. So those are my main supplement recommendations around festivities that help mitigate what we're doing to the body, so we can still be on track with our health, recovery, fitness goals, all that good stuff. Now, after the festivities are over, there are a couple of recommendations to help us reset really fast if you are inclined to do so. So if you're like, all right, I just enjoyed a holiday, I just enjoyed a vacation, I'm going to take the next 1, 2, 3 days, maybe a week, and I'm going to reset a little bit. I'm going to clean up my diet. I'm going to eat even cleaner than normal. Well, if that's where, and that's something that I personally like to do, because I feel like it gets me back to equilibrium and homeostasis really fast. If I just take a few days and prioritize this body a little bit more on the nutritional side, I can get back to where I was before my holiday ASAP. So the first recommendation, if you guys don't already do this, is fasting in some way, shape, or form. Intermittent fasting has become really popular. There's a variety of different time frames of that. That's basically not eating for anywhere for like the low end is a 12-hour to 12-hour window. So no eating, consuming basically any calories for 12 hours, and then consuming all of your calories within the other 12-hour window. It's been shown through studies that it's much more beneficial for us if we can get closer to the 14 to 10, or even better if we can get to 16 to 8, where 16 hours, no calorie consumption. You can have your water, you can have teas, you can have black coffee, you can have all that kind of stuff, but you're not allowed to consume any kind of calories. So that's even like protein shakes. That's like your creamers in your milk, unless it's like less than 10 calories, like an almond milk or something like that. But like in general, we're not consuming any kinds of calories for that 14, 16 hours. And then we have an 8 to 10 hour feeding window where we can eat our normal calories for the day. And just doing that, giving your body a say 16-hour window where it's not having to process anything, it can start going into a bit of autophagy, meaning it starts consuming what we've stored. And if we just came back from a vacation, holiday, whatever, where we've maybe overconsumed a few calories, we've maybe put on a couple extra pounds, we have a little extra storage of energy on us. Well, that's great, because now the body is going to actually use those storages up and start burning them into our caloric expenditure. And that's a great thing. So that's a way of doing it, is through intermittent fasting. Now, I personally, like, if you are already somebody that likes to intermittent fast, which I am, I enjoy doing this, I push it longer on those days back. So if I really went crazy for a week or two, I might do a 48-hour fast. So I might not eat for a full 2 days. So basically, like, if I stopped eating on a Sunday night, I wouldn't be eating again until Tuesday night. So I take 48 hours of no calories whatsoever. Or like, obviously that's relatively extreme. Some people will do a 72-hour plus that's considered water fast, a 0-calorie fast there. But a one that's more manageable for most people, if you are somebody that is already used to intermittent fasting, is doing a 24-hour fast. So if you stopped eating on Sunday night, the next time you're going to eat is Monday night for your dinner, or Monday evening, Sunday evening to Monday evening, whatever it's going to be. You're taking 24 hours or maybe 23 hours type thing to fast, and you're only having one large meal for that day. Now, I also like to make that meal more vegetable focus. So we're going to focus more on getting in a variety of vegetables, healthy fats. Personally, I like to go vegan that day, so I cut out all sources of animal protein to give my liver a break, and that's a really great way to reset. And you can play around with that for a day or 2 days or 3 days, whatever you need, and that can help that body bounce back to where you need it to be and still be taking your essential aminos to help the tissues repair and all that good stuff. So that's what I wanted to cover today, guys. If you're enjoying a holiday coming up, hope you have a blast. Hope these techniques can help you mitigate some of the inflammation and negative ramifications that can come around these holidays, and you can enjoy yourself, feel good doing so, and allow the body to still repair. And outside of that, feel free to like, subscribe, share this video with others, and obviously we look forward to seeing you on other videos. Talk soon.